Now, Joe Rogan has been the subject of a lot of controversy this time around in the Democratic primary. As you guys all recall, Joe Rogan basically said, I'll probably vote for Bernie Sanders. The Bernie Sanders campaign tweets out that video, sort of touts it as, hey, look, Joe Rogan's going to support me, meaning we've got this sort of outreach of people who won't otherwise vote for the Democratic candidate if it is not me, Bernie Sanders. And that just started a whole firestorm of backlash. Then just a couple of days ago, he was super trending on Twitter again because he said that he would vote for Trump before he would vote for Biden. He didn't say he's going to vote for Trump. There's no way he's voting for Trump. He just said that he would vote for him before he votes for Biden, which I disagree with, but I can kind of understand where he's coming from. And more importantly, just shaming people who do that is not really a way to win an election. Now, definitely interesting to hear from Joe Rogan on this because he's had such a big part in all of this. But Bernie Sanders dropped out just a couple of days ago, and he's got some thoughts on Bernie dropping out. Go ahead and hear him. We're going to come back and talk about him.
Time, too, because it's right before the election. Election comes in November. Like, imagine if this shit was going on right now and the election was like next week.
God.
Can you imagine?
Chaos. Your boy Bernie dropped out.
Yep. It's a wrap.
Biden ain't beating Trump.
Nope.
That's your best? That's the guy?
It shows you how crazy the system is, that they wanted him, that they wanted Biden to be their guy, that they can't admit that he's in cognitive decline.
I mean,
it's very strange.
Listen, I fuck up all the time. I speak for a living. I fuck up all the time. But
There's a
Biden?
difference.
Biden?
No.
He fucks up, man. You're a politician.
I fuck up all the time, too, but we're also talking live for hours and hours and hours at a time. If I had a prepared thing that I was doing.
Like my stand-up. I don't fuck up in.
You would be sharp as fuck if you were having one of those conversations. They're asking you, look, if someone wants to ask me questions about things that I understand, like MMA or like comedy, like if you want to ask me questions about things that I think about and talk about all the time.
You have your black belt in both
Yeah,
those.
I can talk to you and really clearly about those things and make a lot of sense. He can't do that about politics, and he's been a politician forever.
And that's your shit.
He's a guy who's suffering. He's in decline, and they're going to try to whale him out. And whoever his VP is, whether it's Kamala Harris or
Michelle Obama,
maybe whoever it is, but that's who you're voting for. You know, it's sort of like when Dick Cheney was basically running the country. Well, George Bush was the president.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
There's no way he beats Trump.
He doesn't beat Trump.
Not a chance.
No, not a chance. Especially because of the timing of this. Right now, we're in the shit. Right? We're in the April shit. This is the worst time of the corona. A lot of people are dying. There's a slight drop-off in New York. People dying less today than yesterday. Slight drop-off yesterday from the day before. So things are looking pretty good. California,
May it's going to be.
Yeah. California is looking very good, right?
Yeah, we're crushing it, huh?
California is looking very good. So, and then, where's that? Oh, here it is. And then you go June, July, August. Hopefully everything's up and running again. Economy starts coming back on track. Trump makes a couple of great speeches. But Biden is more in decline. It's not going to get better.
No, those two face off. Trump's going to light him up like a Comedy Central roast.
He's already dismissing him.
Yeah.
He's like, he
Sleepy
doesn't know.
Biden.
He's like, but he's saying, like, someone said, Biden said this. He goes, first of all, he didn't write that. It was a Democratic operative. He probably doesn't even know what it says.
He's going to destroy him,
He's
man.
going to kill him, man. I mean, it's such an easy target. It's like Mike Tyson versus a 3-year-old.
It's true.
It really is. It's a terrible fight.
I thought Bernie had a legit chance.
Bernie had a legit chance. He had a legit chance because there's a lot of people that are in the middle, that are, a lot of people that are casually acquainted with politics, that would listen to his message of doing good for the working class people.
I think you helped out
for
with
the
that.
poor people.
I think you made him human. When he was on here, I was like, oh, I like that guy. Would you have Biden on?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, man. What if he was like this awesome dude?
Well, I'm
and he's
sure
just
he's a
really
great
nervous
guy.
on stage, and he comes here and just drops knowledge.
No, he never was like that. That's the thing. If you go back and listen to him from when he was younger, he was whip smart. Very smart guy. Very articulate. Very clear.
I'm sure all those.
Very clear talker.
Yeah.
This is a sign of decline. It is what it is.
You wouldn't have him on and have
Dude,
open
I'm
conversation?
done with all that shit. That Bernie Sanders thing was such a bummer.
Why?
Because they turned all the stuff that I did in stand-up and like the things that I've said drunk and stoned on a podcast and put it in quotes as if I'm a homophobe or a transphobe or a racist. Or they just lied to make it look like Bernie was supporting some right-wing person. When meanwhile, I'm left-wing, and I've never been right-wing in my life.
But also, those people don't matter.
But it didn't matter as much as it made me feel like this is a dirty business. Like, I don't want to be a part of your dirty business.
It's the dirtiest business.
They're trying to change people's opinions with deception. It's not like they're trying to tell you how good their guy is. They're using deception.
Yeah.
They're using fuckery.
It's sleazy.
It's sleazy. It's a sleazy business. It's not a meritocracy.
After Bernie came on, did other politicians reach out?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
A lot. Yeah, and they denied it, too. I got emails. I'll
Can't say.
release the emails,
Yeah,
bitch.
who wants
a lot of them. A lot of them
bet.
reached out. Well, they reached out to the publicist, but I'm not interested in. Look, I'm only interested in interviewing people that I thought were interesting, that I was interested in, like Andrew Yang. Interested in that guy.
I like him too.
I like him.
Smart guy.
I love Tulsi Gabbard. I just think she's.
I like her too.
You know, she's so dangerous to those people that they wouldn't want. They were changing the rules to keep her from debating.
Fuck.
After she sank Kamala Harris. They're like, this lady's too dangerous.
So there's sort of a lot to talk about there, to be honest with you. But I think the biggest portion there that's probably like the most crucial portion is the portion about the odds of Joe Biden being able to defeat Donald Trump. I see it as being virtually impossible for Joe Biden to defeat Donald Trump, and here's why. The reason why I think it's virtually impossible for Joe Biden to defeat Donald Trump is because for the most part, all the economy and stuff like that hasn't crashed. Obviously, we're in a pandemic right now, but it doesn't seem like it's working super against him or anything like that right now. So I have no reason to believe that'll really change. But for the most part, the economy didn't end up crashing in any way, shape, or form. That was massive. So that's not going to be anything big for Trump. But as you've seen the enthusiasm numbers, Joe Biden, I think, is at like 24% enthusiastic, where his voters are very enthusiastic. That's actually even lower than Hillary Clinton. His national polling numbers against Trump are lower right now than Hillary's were right now. So you got to sort of get into the heap of the right-wing smear machine that's going to jump in, except it won't be a smear machine because Hunter Biden Burisma, very real corruption, all the various things that you can bring up about Joe Biden, his past record on issues, those aren't, smears, those are real, they're truth. And so with those enthusiasm numbers and the young vote not coming out for him, because young people won't come out for Joe Biden, he's not going to win. I give him virtually no chance. If he somehow actually wins, he will defy a lot of odds because he will somehow have managed to defeat the Republican Party, or gain the Republican Party, I guess. Trump will have lost it. Because if you don't get young vote, you've kind of got to overcompensate somewhere else. But I don't see where you can get that from unless they really double out. But I don't really see that happening. So I will really be shocked if Joe Biden wins. I really will be, honestly, because I don't see how it's possible without the youth vote. It doesn't really make sense to me. So he's 100% on the money with that. Now, what's really a big thing I have to say is that it's really disgusting and embarrassing, and this is sort of the sentiment that both Brendan and Joe are sharing, is that just how embarrassing and ridiculous it is that the Democrats actually voted for Joe Biden. I look at it as a sort of unforgivable thing. I mean, you've got so many candidates in the race, right? There was like 16, 20 candidates, something crazy like that. And the guy you choose is Joe Biden. He was the one with all the default support, which already is kind of ridiculous. But the fact that you would choose Joe Biden, the guy who has dementia and has this horrible record. I mean, his record is like Hillary Clinton level bad. It might even be worse than Hillary Clinton. I don't know whose is worse, honestly. Maybe Joe Biden's, honestly. They both have absolutely disgustingly horrible records. So you went with that guy. You could have gone with Pete Buttigieg. You could have gone with Elizabeth Warren. You could have gone with Black Hillary. You could have gone with black-haired Hillary. You could have gone with John Delaney. You could have gone with any of these people. But you chose Joe Biden? I don't have any respect for Democratic voters. Joe Biden didn't even campaign in Super Tuesday states. He didn't have any campaign offices. He didn't do anything to win, but he won anyways. How do you win an election you don't take? That's like playing in an NBA game and just standing there and winning. How is that possible? It doesn't even make sense. And so to me, at that point, it's like, wait a second, you're voting for a guy he's not even really in the race. Joe Biden was never really in the race. He was just kind of like, yeah, I declare, and then he just kind of sat in his nursing home in his rocking chair, just reading, Dr. Seuss. And it's like, wait, why would you vote for that guy? Are you insane? I don't have any respect for the Democratic voters. It actually disgusts me, and I find it really embarrassing and insulting to be a registered Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat. The fact that my party members are so dumb they voted for someone who's not really running for president is disgusting to me. It's really unbelievable. I don't want to associate myself with people like that. I mean, the people of this country are really dumb too, but the Democratic Party is especially stupid. You really went with the guy with literal extreme cognitive decline. He's probably going to die within 4 years. If he's still alive in 4 years, if he doesn't get a glioblastoma or something like that by 4 years from now, I will legitimately be shocked. Okay, seriously. He looks absolutely horrible and disgusting. And so you chose that guy? How am I supposed to respect you as an electorate? I can't. And so it's unforgivable that they did that. It really is. And I'll never be able to forgive them for that. I really won't. Making such an incredibly stupid decision. And that's part of the reason why I want Biden to lose, is because this whole narrative of a centrist needs to defeat Donald Trump and all this, we need to lay it to rest. It needs to be buried into the ground. It needs to just be, just totally shoveled over, because it's a heap of garbage, and it's this dumb ideology that's a complete cyclical failure where you elect this centrist loser for 4 to 8 years, and then you get like this crazy right-winger, and you're like, wait a second, where did this guy come from? Hey, dude, it's because you were just this, mealy-mouthed centrist garbage can the whole time. Also very interesting that Joe Rogan talks about how basically they tried smearing him, which is exactly what they did. And I think that smear machine on the left that they do, where they just, call these people a bunch of ists or isms, I think that is why the Democrats always lose. And so the Democrats always are shocked. They're always shocked when they lose. Like, wait a second, what happened? Oh my gosh, we lost? It's like, yeah, we see why you're losing. It's because all of your strategies and your plans are complete garbage. So, definitely some interesting stuff here from Joe Rogan. Definitely was hoping to hear his thoughts. It is unfortunate to see him demoralized, but that's how everybody is. But the thing is, you can't get demoralized in this situation. You have to really sort of hunker down. Like Noam Chomsky talked about, he just said, we have a real movement now. I don't know if that's really true, because everyone after Bernie drops out, everybody leaves, and then it's like, wait a second, and then you wonder, like, whoa, why is there no progressive movement? It's because you leave every time Bernie's out. That's not a real movement or infrastructure. So you can't just run away. You can't do that. But definitely some very interesting insights from Mr. Joe Rogan.